Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vermont Jazz Center. I feel like you're all here with me tonight, perhaps because the band has so much excitement that it just makes me feel like we have an audience here that is also giving back to us. I'll tell you, this is going to be one fun show because everybody in the band has that sparkly spirit. So I'm really looking forward to this show. Oh no, we're having a hard time with the live stream, so just give me 1 second, please. There it is. We are on. So should I give my spiel again? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vermont Jazz Center. My name is Eugene Newman. I am the director of the Vermont Jazz Center, and I am so happy to be here with you tonight. And it feels like you are all here with us because this band has this energy that feels like they bring the audience with them. And they have a lot of young enthusiasm and just the feeling that music fills them with joy. And I am so happy to be able to share that with you all tonight. So let's not spend too much time on words, but I do want to thank some wonderful people here. I'd like to thank Mr. Bill Ballard for tuning our piano. And I would like to thank our wonderful tech crew. Applause, applause. Michael, Julian, Jeffrey, and Max. Yay, you guys are awesome. I'd like to thank Ginger. Yay. And yeah, there's a whole story about bats. Ask her about it. And I'd like to very much thank our sponsor for this gig, Diana Bingham. She's a sweetheart, and she has been taking care of the Vermont Jazz Center for so long, and I just want to give her a big hug. So that's Diana Bingham, and also I'd like to thank for their consistent support the Vermont Arts Council and the Vermont Humanities Council. So we are so fortunate next month on the 20th of February, we will be welcoming the Jonathan Barber Quintet. That's Visions, Jonathan Barber's Visions. So make sure you check us out on February 20th of 2021. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage, I'm so psyched about this, Emmet Cohen and his trio, and he will then introduce Mark Whitfield. So, Emmet Cohen on the piano, woo! Russell Hall on the bass, and Kyle Poole on the drums. Welcome them. Give a big, warm Vermont Jazz Center applause. Thank you so much.
pleasure to be here at the Vermont Jazz Center. They're doing an amazing thing up here, keeping the music alive. And we've come up, the one and only on the bass, Mr. Russell Alexander Hall.
Turn on the mic.
Oh, it's not even on. And apparently this mic had a switch. And so I'm going to start that over. We're coming to you from Brattleboro. Brattleboro. All right. Vermont. And we came up here today to participate in the wonderful offering of the Vermont Jazz Center. This is a beautiful establishment. I think none of us have been here before, so this is an excellent introduction. And thank you to you guys and all you do out here. And it's a pleasure to be here. On the bass, that's Mr. Russell Alexander Hall. And on the drums, that's Mr. Kyle Poole. And we'd like to welcome up our very special guest, one of the great guitar players of all time. Can't say enough about this man. He's been teaching me since I've been in high school, and teaching you the real way, the streets, and from Jersey City. The great Mark Whitfield on the guitar. great Mark Whitfield on the guitar. Once again, Russell Hall at the bass and Kyle Poole on the drums. Yours truly, Emmet Cohen. We're here in Vermont at the Vermont Jazz Center in Brattleboro, right?
Yes.
You got a mic there? You want to say something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's say a little something.
That's what we need, more confusion. Add my voice to the mix. So we are in Brattleboro. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Go somewhere, right?
What? Are you kidding me? I was just saying earlier. It felt so good to get out of my living room. Yes, indeed. So I hope that you guys are all out there staying warm. I understand it's going to be one of the coldest nights of the year. It's hot in here right now. I'm so glad to be here with these young gentlemen, swinging their butts off, playing some great music. It's my pleasure. Thank you all for having us, putting this together. We're all doing our part to help keep the arts alive and keep music going. Yeah. So you guys keep tuning in and keep sending your donations. Mark needs a new Cadillac. Matchbox size. That was Billy's Bounce, and we borrowed that from the great George Benson. Not that it's his song, but his recording with Herbie Hancock and Billy Cobb and Ron Carter. Yes, indeed. What do we got up next there, Emmett?
Let's do a little Body and Soul.
Body and Soul. Hope you enjoy it.
Playing the greatest hits.
Yeah, all hits.
Mark Whitfield, Body and Soul. Going to do a little Wes Montgomery now. This is something he wrote over the chord changes of George Gershwin's Summertime, entitled 4 on 6. Yeah, the great Mark Whitfield on guitar. That's right. Doing West Justice. Yeah, so a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago now, Mark came by our house in Harlem. For those of you who don't know, we do a concert series in Harlem at my house, live from Emmett's place, every Monday night for the past 40 weeks or so. You know, getting through this thing one week at a time through music. And we've been having special guests, and Mark came up, was one of our very first special guests up in the house. And we came up with a tune, a little medley of tunes when we were up there in the sound check, and became one of our hits. And we try not to repeat any music from then until now, but this is one of the ones. This is one of the ones that we're gonna do again and again and again and again. But this is our second time doing it, and it is a mashup of Breezin' and Poinciana. This is the skin out version of Breeziana. Breeziana. Got time for one more?
Yeah, we gotta have one more, man.
Gotta have one more. Thank you all so much. This is a beautiful evening here in Vermont. Cold, but as Mark said, hot up on stage here. And we're grateful for any opportunity to get outside of New York and bring some music to people around the world. So thank you to the Vermont Jazz Center for all that you do out here. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to be back with some people in the room. But until then, we're all going to stay safe and stay happy, and we're going to weather the storm together. And I'd like to thank on the drums one last time. That's Mr. Kyle Poole.
Kyle Poole.
On the bass, Russell Hall. Yours truly, Emmet Cohen on the piano. And our very special guest, the maestro, King Guitar. We love him dearly. He's one of the most soulful musicians you'll hear anywhere, one of the most versatile, and one of the most exuding joy. And I think that's something that's so powerful in this time, to have someone so joyful, so exuberant about what they do. And we learn from him in that regard and many others. And we want to thank him for coming all the way up to Vermont with us, the great Mark Whitfield. We're going to take you home with some McCoy Tyner. It's Passion Dance. Thank you very much. Once again, Mark Whitfield, Kyle Poole, Russell Hall, yours truly, Emmet Cohen. Thank you so much for listening. Continue to support the Vermont Jazz Center, and we're going to have a brief interview coming right up in just 1 minute, right? That's right. Okay.
Wonderful performance. Wow. You can feel the passion in Passion Dance, for sure. Thank you, fellas. What a great gig. Wow. So, yeah, we're going to come right back. I just wanted to thank the wonderful crew we have. Boy, we are so lucky to have such a wonderful tech crew. Julia McBrown doing the streaming. Yeah. Michael Hainish on the video. Max Adam on the sound. And Jeff Starrett on the photography. And, of course, Ginger Morosky is also helping doing the streaming as well. We just have an A-team, and I'm so grateful. I'm also grateful for Diana Bingham for being the sponsor. And if you have the wherewithal to do so, this is a show that we are presenting for free, but it costs us substantial money to put it on. And we would be so grateful if you could help us by continuing to give generously to the Vermont Jazz Center. People have been really awesome with us lately, and I am so grateful. But if you could help at this particular concert, usually we charge between $20 and $40 a seat. So if you could give us a little bit of money, we would be very grateful. Thank you so much. And we're going to set up. It'll take us about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll have an interview. So just hold on for 1 second. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
How we doing there, Michael? Whenever you're ready. Let's do countdown from 5. 5, 4, 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the interview part of this event. And I am just so delighted. Thank you, Mark. It's great to meet you.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
Yes, and Emmet, man, you guys played so beautifully together. And one of the things that you mentioned, Emmet, in your comments was that Mark was your teacher and that you were, that you learned on the street, you know, in la calle, as we say in Spanish. And so I was wondering if you could elaborate on those lessons learned, and maybe Mark, what kind of things you think about when you teach people, you know, from that point of view.
I'll just say that I think it's a very indirect form of teaching, which makes it so powerful, and that's the oral tradition of the music. It's more like, hey, yeah, I'll come. Let's play this gig together, and I'm 17 or 18 years old. And
Yeah, right.
and we played together, and maybe something said, but maybe nothing said. Yeah. You know, maybe we're just having a good time, and you learn how to have a good time. You learn how to do it by example. And I think that's the masterful part of the way Mark is able to impart knowledge and teach. It's so indirect. You know, it's never forceful. It's always like, hey, check this. Like, this is what happens when it's done right. And whether it was in New Jersey at Cecil's Jazz Club or any other spot, there's just been countless times where you see how it's done, and either you respond to it and you pick up on that lesson, or not, and that's the spirit of the music.
Beautiful. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Sure. I mean, it's a multifaceted thing. You know, we never had formal student and teacher situation, but as young musicians, Emmet and my eldest son Mark, the drummer, played a lot together. And when I had the chance to play with you guys and hang out with you and whatever, and work through tunes and things, you know, you can recognize that certain musicians, young musicians, are at a level where all the talking in the world isn't going to make a difference. At that point, you just need to allow someone to hear what they play against what you play, and figure out for themselves what feels good, what sounds good, what elicits a certain reaction from me.
Right.
Like, you kind of know when you play something that makes me feel good or happy or excited or optimistic, because it's in my body language, and that's encouraging. And I find that when I was in that situation as a youngster, you know, the comments that sort of ring out in my memory were all of the harsh, negative things that cats would lay on you. While they were poignant and sometimes very much necessary, I think I would have learned the same thing had they just played it for me. Just, you know, and so I try to remember that going forward, you can spare somebody some of the negative comments,
right,
especially someone who's prepared to hear them, prepared just to hear the music and play through it. You know.
Well,
I'll say one more thing, and then about 10 years later from where I left off, Christian McBride had me play in a trio with Mark and Christian, and that was a drumless trio, so just piano, guitar, and bass.
A lot more pressure. Yeah.
And that was a whole other kind of education too, because they had their whole history and they played off each other, and they have a very rhythmic concept. And then for me to kind of see where I could fit in, and see where to not fit in, and see where to complement, and see where to, you know, how to be part of the band was ultimate lesson.
Right.
And the lesson is in doing it night after night, like all of our heroes, Thelonious Monk and Lester Young and Miles Davis and John Coltrane and the rest of them that just played night after night after night, and honed the concept.
right. Well, that was one of the things that really stayed with me about tonight's performance, was how the interaction, the interplay, you guys are all so together. There was this sense of being in the moment for an hour and a half, you know? And so, you know, one of the things that I was particularly impressed by was, Mark, your concept of rhythm, and how you played off of Kyle especially. And there was this real wonderful interchange that was happening between everyone in the band, but how that tended to be, to me, like one of the themes of the evening. So can you speak to that?
Sure. You know, as young guitar players especially, we don't learn to play rhythmically. We learn to play faster, higher, and louder. Yeah. Right? And you shoot for faster, higher, and louder. And then, you know, the instrument itself does not really require a lot of breathing. It's just a lot of note playing. And then, you know, I started trying to play jazz and play with other musicians. And it's a funny thing. You think you're going to get the most response, or you're going to get the most energy, call and response from playing all kinds of things, right? As much as layering as much as you can on top. But what happens is it just becomes a big run-on sentence that no one can respond to, right? You're not leaving any space. You're not actually sending out a call and waiting for a response. It's just a lot of calls, right? So, learning how to take your time, offer a rhythm, and come back at it comes with a certain amount of maturity and confidence. And as I learned to lean more on the strength and the content of what I was playing, not how much of what I was playing, I learned to interject phrases. And do things that give space for people to respond. And rhythm, the more and more I listen to, I just get inside the rhythm. It's more than just thinking about eighth notes or 16th notes or some sort of pattern. Just trying to feel my way through, and stick and move, so to speak. Keep the music, keep it weaving, keep it bobbing, keep it alive. Right. And if it's interesting to me, it's interesting to you guys. Try to give someone something. And if I hear something, like I never like to walk, like walking down the street and you see and leave some notes on the ground. Like I hear somebody play something great. I don't want to just leave that. Like I want to address it. I want to Kyle play something slick or Russell. I want to let you know I heard it. Right. And vice versa. I think it sets the stage for great interplay as well. Also.
I understand. Thank you. Did you want to talk to that too?
Yeah, Mark is one of the rhythm masters. And I think what he was trying to say at the end there, that I always try to think about is I don't try, we don't try to think about I'm play this rhythm, you're gonna play this rhythm. We think about it as phrases. We think about it as conversation. Just like we're having a conversation now, I might go and play something, and Mark may be like, yeah, that's right. There were times when I just sat back and let Mark play without any piano, just for. Just for 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's part of the conversation. That's part of the rhythmic freedom too. And then finding a place to come back in and kind of help him to build his story. Absolutely. And help the band, to all kind of support each other. What can I play and add to make everyone sound better and feel more comfortable? And that's, I think, what the four of us share in common. Yeah. And it has less to do with what rhythm am I playing or what notes am I playing, rather than what's it feel like in this moment, and will they have my back if I do that? Oh yeah, cool. Right. Oh, that worked. That didn't work, and that's cool. Right. You're allowed to try stuff that doesn't work.
And the other thing is too, I learned a long time ago that sometimes you have to imagine that the music is going to sound great without you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like his music is already killing. So it's not about what can I do to make this band kill it. It's what can I do to add. But knowing that they don't need me to save the day, man, it's gonna be killing. So you just, it's a great feeling to remove yourself from the music and then figure out how to add yourself to it.
Can you also address the concept of swing? And I know that they say if you need to have someone define swing for you, then it's already too late. But you guys swing so hard, and it's just brings us as listeners such a joyful feeling. And I'm wondering if you can describe like how you might have gone around about learning the sense of swing, and then how you can then communicate it on your instruments.
To me, swing is a heartbeat. So it's just, I don't necessarily agree that if you need somebody to explain it to you, then you've already missed it. Sometimes you just need to understand, you just need to hear someone articulate how they connect to the rhythm. Mm-hmm. Because we're talking about a rhythm that hasn't existed in our popular culture for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And so, there are people now who were born and grown up in a world who never got to see Duke Ellington or Count Basie or Ella Fitzgerald. I got to see all those people play and hear, and see all that music. And so, the swing isn't necessarily a specific call. It's a heartbeat. It's a feeling. And it's the feeling and the pulse of a time long ago. So to understand how to swing or how swing is played, you got to go back beyond. You have to look back beyond your recent history. and it's not something you can program. It's not a beat you can. It shouldn't be thought of as a rhythm you can define, but just the feeling of freedom and that heartbeat, and it's very subtle and it's pervasive and strong at the same time.
Yeah, heartbeat is exactly what it is, and that makes me think of the word that I always come to, which is humanity, and heartbeat is what gives us life, right? And humanity is what separates us from an object like a chair or a piano or whatever. Right. We are moving, breathing.
Don't talk about me like that. I'm living and breathing right here, baby.
Flexibility, malleability. Swing is about there being a bunch of ways for to go about something, and that's what life's about. Exactly. There's not one way to live your life. The more we travel, the more we go all over the world, we realize that people do things different ways, and it's beautiful. Right. And that's what swing is about. It's realizing that you're different than me, I'm different from you. We feel it in a different place. We have different heartbeats. We have different life experiences, and we're going to come together and meet wherever we have common ground, and we're going to be able to play together and uplift. Ourselves, musicians, people around us. Absolutely. And people have invented many different ways of doing it. My heroes, Ahmed Jamal swings much differently from Oscar Peterson, who swings much differently from Fats Waller, who swings much differently from, Brad Mehldau. So, that's about 100 years of people right there, all trying to do this thing in their own way based on their own experiences. And it gives you that individuality, that humanity, and gives you opportunity to express that.
Right, and that's okay. Expressing your humanity is just okay with me.
It's okay with me too. So I got one more question for you. And first and sec, I'm just so happy that you're both here, and it's just been such a delight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's really great. And a lot of our audience has been listening to music at the Jazz Center for decades now. We've been here for a long time.
That's beautiful.
Attila Zoller started this place.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Attila Zoller.
Wow.
So did you know Attila?
I never knew him personally, just a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Well, he started this place.
Wow.
And so we've been in this area now for over 40 years. And I started this place, this site, at 27 years ago.
Congratulations to you.
But thank you. But at any rate, what I wanted, 24 years ago, I'm sorry. But what I wanted to ask you is a question that we always struggle with here, is how to get more young people involved with the center here. And you are both, experts in this area. And you both have had a lot of young students, looking up to you, and I'm sure you've worked with them as well.
Sure.
So what might you think would be a good way for us to motivate people, and even as early as middle school, elementary even, to get them to want to fall in love with jazz?
Well, in my experience, it's not rocket science. Like, it's just, children are just, as young people, we need to see and feel things to be a part of it. There's not the videos and records, and it's wonderful as you get older. But as a young kid, what fascinated me was watching someone play. So I think anytime you can get afternoon programs, you get kids in here sitting around, you can get local musicians and guys to come up and play and let the kids be a part of it and talk and ask questions and relate the music to Sesame Street, the things that they're familiar with, and you'd be surprised how I was always surprised how the level of understanding a child can have, even if it's intuitive in a certain way, but just to see someone connect to an instrument, they're like, wow, it's cool how you make that sound, how and then to watch us play music that's not written, to realize that a lot of music is stuff that's been written before that we've learned, internalized, and now we're interpreting it, doing it our own way, and showing different things. But I think jazz is a living, breathing art form, and I think it's most effective for young people when they're exposed to it, and they get to see it and feel it and understand that they're not going to get this feeling from anything else. You can go other places and see other music, but this thing feels a certain kind of way, and I think it connects to young people all the time.
Get them to hear live music.
Bring them in, let them hear, gather them around. My parents would take me to a series at the public library when I was 8, 9 years old, and on Long Island every week the cats coming up from New York, and I had no idea what they were playing. I just knew it was really great.
Yeah.
You could sit right up close and hear it.
I remember piggybacking on that. one time when I was about 12 or 13, my dad took me to the Jazz Standard to hear Monty Alexander.
Huh.
And I was playing classical piano at the time, and we went to go see him. I didn't know what I was seeing, and Jazz Standard just closed, so it's kind of a memory that's kind of dear to my heart now, especially that I've been thinking about. And I heard the group, and I loved the feeling. I never heard anything like that in person. Just the power, the energy, the feel, the like joy everyone was feeling. It was just so swinging, and I was like, "What is that?"
Right.
You know, and when it feels good, people are curious about it. You know, what is that? And I went up to him and I talked to him for a minute. He was so nice and he was so encouraging, and he said, "Emmet Man, just keep smiling, keep swinging. You're going to be all right."
I know, right.
And I was like, cool. And I still have the thing that he signed me. You know, he signed a postcard from the Jazz Standard and gave it to me.
Awesome,
and
man.
so,
Monty's
you know,
so great.
everyone can have a story like that.
Sure.
You know, if they have time to talk to the musicians. The people you saw here tonight playing, Kyle, Russell, Mark. These people are so cool. You know, that they're so hip.
Right.
You know, anyone who sees Mark play the guitar is gonna be like, damn, like, I don't know what this, corporate job on Wall Street is, but this so far the opposite way. This guy does this for a living. You know, what is that?
How do I do that?
How can I be a part of it? You know, how can I get some of that on the weekends after my 9 to 5 is over?
Yeah.
And like the music is nourishment for our souls. And you know, to be taught that it's part of the culture,
Sure.
to be taught that it's an important part of life, just like, you know, the other arts are, like sports are, like, you know, so many things are, to have it integrated like that from a young age, having cool people in front of them, saying, you know, this is the path, you know, this is enlightenment, you know, and it's as simple as that.
Well, Emmet Cohen and Mark Whitfield, it's an honor to have you here at the Vermont Jazz Center. I look forward to seeing you here again. And
keep it going. Please keep it going.
thank you so much.
Y'all
Eugene, you're the man. Thank you so much for having us.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember, the next show here is on February 20th, and that's with the great drummer Jonathan Barber. Yeah, and he's got an amazing group, and the music he composes is just phenomenal. So I hope you will join us on February 20th. Thank you so much. Good night.